wanted to do a video showing my 2025 reads and also doing a review on the books that I've read January into June. So it's a mid-year kind of update on what I've been reading, but I'm going to go through my whole 2025 reading list. I hope you enjoy. The first book I read this year was Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. And I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really good. I have read Done and Dusted and Swift and Saddled prior, and I believe all of them were 4-star reads for me. But I really enjoyed this one. My next book of 2025 was Off to the Races. All these books were in January, by the way. I read this one. I think it's my first Elsie Silver book that I've read in its entirety. I did on Kindle read one of her other books, but I don't really read books in their entirety in a digital format. So this was my first one, and I did enjoy it quite a bit. Here's the back if you would like to read it. I did rate this one 4 stars out of 5 as well. The third and final book for January was Frigid by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I did rate this one 4 out of 5 stars. I think it started to lose me towards the end, but then I got back into it. So I did enjoy it. I'm looking very much forward to Scorch, which we'll be getting to that one in a little while, but I did like this one, and the sprayed edges are my favorite color, so that was a nice touch. All my books that I read in February, I actually no longer own. I sold all of them on Pango Books as well as at a garage sale that I had. So I will just show them on screen. The first one was Mine for a Moment. This was my favorite of my February reads. I really did enjoy it. I just didn't feel like I would read it again for a second time. So that's why I chose to sell it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and it was quite enjoyable. I do like Katharina Mara's writing style. I just don't think that the story, I would forget enough of it to read it a second time. The second was my second favorite of the month, Unromance by Erin Connor, and I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. I liked the concept, and I did like the characters, and the writing wasn't too bad, but it just didn't grip me very much. I had a hard time focusing, so I did choose to sell that one as well. And then the third one, this is kind of annoying for me because this is an author I do like, but I have read, or it's an author duo that I've read, and I do like some of their books, but some of them have been misses for me, and this one was a miss. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. I am quite generous in my ratings though, so some other people might have rated it lower, but I feel like to get it lower than a 3, the book has to be absolutely terrible, which I don't feel like this one was, but it just wasn't for me. And it was Dirty Rowdy Thing by Christina Lauren. Now for my March reads, this is where it gets a little bit exciting. I read Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope, and I did give this a 5 star. I really enjoyed it. This was actually a book that I put on my Christmas wish list, but I ended up buying it for myself after the holidays, and I'm glad that I decided to go ahead and do that because I did thoroughly enjoy it. My next one for March was Hideaway Heart by Melanie Harlow. These books are really cool because the author actually lives in my home state, so I appreciate that. The little fictional town that it's based in is near an area of my state that's very lovely, and I have a lot of fond memories of that part of the state, so it's nice to read about a little fictional town near there, and the characters are really fun, and I like her writing style, and I think that her stories are just pretty interesting. So I did rate that 4 out of 5 star. Oh, I should mention that I don't really do half stars. If I do, there has to be a good reason for it, to not just round up or down to the nearest star. And then the third book for March that I read was No More Secrets by Lucy Score. I have read Lucy Score before, and I do enjoy her writing. I liked this. The town that this is set in is very charming, and I like that it's kind of agricultural, farm-based, because I romanticize that kind of life. I know that it's really hard work, but in this crazy world, it's nice to read about some places that are more peaceful and down to earth, so I really did enjoy this. And I did rate it a 4 out of 5 stars. Next book I read in March, I kind of snuck it in as a 4th book for the month when I only plan on 3 reads per month, and I borrowed it. It was The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really easy to read. It's pretty short, but it was quick, and it held my attention, and I really enjoyed it as a nonfiction book because I typically don't enjoy reading nonfiction. I'm better at listening to it on audio, but I did genuinely enjoy it. The first book of April that I read was another 5-star read for me for this year. I don't have it physically with me because my sister is borrowing it, but it was Give Me Butterflies by Jillian Meadows, and this one was a fast read for me. It looks like I finished it in 6 days, but I probably skipped 2 nights of reading, so it was probably more like 4. And it was really good, and I'm very much looking forward to the other books that are going to be coming out in the series. I did in April also read In the Weeds by B.K. Borison. I really did enjoy this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I really like the character of Beckett. I enjoyed him in the first book a lot, so I did really like this. But it wasn't my favorite book of the series so far. We'll get to that in a second, but I did like this, and that's why it deserves 4 out of 5 stars. The last book for April was a photo finish by Elsie Silver, and I did really like this book. Violet Eaton is a really good character, so I'm happy that I got to read her story, and I do highly recommend this series. I'm not sure when I'm fully done with it if I'm gonna end up keeping it, just because I only like to keep books if I think that I have a good chance of lending them out to people who would enjoy them, or I would reread them, but I do really like the series so far. Next we have my third 5-star read of the year, which is another Paisley Hope of this Silver Pines series called Training the Heart. This one, I think I actually did like it more than the first. It's hard to say because I liked these so much and I devoured them that they kind of mesh together in my mind. But I really like the character of Ivy, so I do highly recommend this series because it holds your attention, and the characters and the world are really pleasant to read about. Next, I read Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. This is my first book of May. I did enjoy this, but I feel kind of bad because the character of Dusty, who's the MMC, he, I think, deserved better treatment in this book, and I was kind of disappointed in Camille, her story. I liked her in previous books of the series, but I just think that there was a bit too much friction in their relationship for me to like fully love this book, but a 4 out of 5 stars is pretty good. Then in May, I also got To Make Believe Match by Melanie Harlow. Again, just a really nice, pleasant read. I really enjoy this series, and I'm looking forward to the other 2 that I will be reading shortly. 4 out of 5 stars for that. I then had to sneak in the 3rd book of this series in May because it released recently in this new cover that they have coming out with this series, and I just couldn't put it off. This was a really good one with the characters of Cole and Ginger. Highly enjoyed it. Another 5 stars. So now we're on to June, which is my current reading month, and I already finished 2 of my 3 books for the month, and the 3rd I'm currently reading, so I can rate the next 2. I did read The Royals Next Door by Karina Halley, I believe. This I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy it, but it's just not something that I'm itching to keep, so I probably will be parting with this, but I did enjoy it for what it was. It's a bodyguard romance, which is a nice trope, and has elements of royalty. Just a nice, easy summer read. This is my favorite book from B.K. Borison. This is Mixed Signals, and this was my 2nd book of June. I really like the characters. I like their dynamic. Layla and Caleb were so cute, and I really enjoyed reading their story. So of the 3 I've read, this one's my favorite so far. Now this book is my current read. It is the 2nd book in a series by Stacey Kennedy called Lone Wolf in Lights. The first one was called A Devil in Blue Jeans, I believe, and I didn't realize, I don't know why it escaped my attention, but with the little Christmas lights detailing around here, and also it does mention the holidays on the back. I think I didn't really read what it was about because I had read the first book, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna read the rest of the series because I do like the books. But this was probably more appropriate for July because of Christmas in July. But I'm close enough to July that I didn't change my order of books for reading it. I just kind of wish I had realized it sooner. But at the same time, like, I can't wait for December because I have specifically Christmas books, and this isn't, at least for now, I have only read the first 50 pages. This isn't too Christmassy, but I really like it so far. Can't give a rating, obviously. The rest of this video will be ratingless because I haven't finished the books, but I do like this series a lot. Popping in here to say that I did end up finishing this book. It's the end of June right now. I haven't yet edited this video, so I can give my update. I give it 3.5 stars. I liked the first book in this interconnected series better, but the characters are great, the writing's good. I just think that the characters, the trauma that they both have gone through, it was just a little too heavy of a read for me. But I did still like it, and I'm looking forward to the 3rd book in the series that I have on pre-order right now. For July, I'm gonna start the month off with reading Small Town Swoon by Melanie Harlow. This will be the 4th book of the series. I'm really looking forward to it. Again, I expect it to be a 4-star read, if not 5-star, since the rest were 4-star for me. And I really like this series, so I'm excited to pick it back up. Then in July, I'm gonna go for Scorched by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I believe this is just gonna be a duology, so I will finish it off. It's a little annoying that this one isn't sprayed edges like the other one is, but that's okay. They're both pretty covers. I do genuinely like them, so that will be fun to pick back up. Then I'm gonna continue with the 3rd book of this series, The Front Runner, Elsie Silver of Gold Rush Ranch. Very much looking forward to it. I'm excited to be done with this series because I just want to know what happens to all the characters, but I do genuinely like it, so that's highly anticipated for me. Then I have this book, which is, I think it was supposed to be released in 2023 originally, then it got pushed to 2024 and 2025, but it finally released. It's the 4th manga book, Cutie and the Beast, of the series. It's like a wrestler and young woman romance. It's very wholesome so far, and I am looking forward to finally being done with this because I bought the other 3 all at once because they were all released at the time. And this one was a long wait, so this is going to be fast because it's a graphic novel essentially. So I have 4 books for the month of August planned. The second book of August will be Business Casual. So I will be able to finish the B.K. Borison series for Love Light Farms. I'm not sure about this one. I expect I'll like it, but the characters, like from the previous books that they've been mentioned in, I'm not quite gripped yet. So we'll see whether this one is something I like or I could do without. So I'm excited to see what that outcome will be. The third book for August will be the last of the Cherry Harbor series for me by Melanie Harlow. I'm excited for this one because even though hockey is a sport I don't know much about, I actually go to hockey games with my friend and it's the sport that I love watching the most. It's just the most entertaining and exciting sport, I think because it's fast-paced, whereas other sports are very, very slow. So I'm really excited to read about this one. Fourth and final book for August that's planned is Left of Forever by Tara DeWitt. This will be the third book I've read from Tara DeWitt, so I'm very excited because I loved the other 2. And I do have another book on pre-order for her right now, I believe. And then I will also have, next year, I will pre-order her Rootbound book. That one was already released, but I think they pulled it and they're releasing it with a new cover. So I'm really excited to read Rootbound because I was really upset when I couldn't get it. It was supposed to come out this year and they pushed it another year. So that one I'm very much looking forward to. Then I have Fish Out of Water by Katie Ruggles. I really loved the cover of this. It's what drew my attention, and also that it's an outdoorsy romance because I love being outside in nature. I don't necessarily go outside as much as I should, but I love kayaking and I love hiking, trail hiking specifically, so that's mostly why I went for this. But I'm excited. I haven't read anything by Katie Ruggles before, so I'm looking forward to knowing if I like her writing style or not, and if her stories and characters grip me. That was the first book of September. And then the second book of September is going to be A False Start by Elsie Silver, so I will be able to complete this series in September. Looking forward to it. I'm not sure because I haven't read the third one yet exactly what the character situation is. I can read the back, but I'm just not very worried about that because I've already committed to the series. I've already bought it, so I'm gonna read it. Then my last book of September is going to be Fall into Temptation by Lucy Score. This is the second of the Blue Moon series, the first being No More Secrets. So I'm looking forward to going back to her little whimsical and very charming farming town. This one's a little bit different though because the MMC in here is the mayor, so it'll be a bit more different than that one, but I'm excited for it. And I believe this series has 8 books in total, but only 2 have been released with the new covers. The old covers are hideous, so I will not be reading them until they release with the new covers. Then the first book of October will be The Scenic Route by Katie Ruggles. Again, haven't read her before, but I am looking forward to it. I do have tentatively the other 2 books of this series on my wish list so far, so if I like it, I'll ask for them for Christmas, but otherwise, I'll pick them up myself if I do enjoy them. And then the second book of October is getting into more of the holiday spirit with Halloween. And I'm gonna go for Go Hex Yourself by Jessica Clare. Haven't read anything by her before, at least not to my knowledge, but I've been wanting to read a witchy book because I don't typically go for them. And it does put me in the mood for Halloween, which is a holiday I like, but I don't celebrate very much. It's just my life isn't set up to enjoy Halloween to the fullest quite yet. So I'm looking forward to that. third book of October is going to be The Spirit Collection of Thornhall by J. Ann Thomas. Haven't read her before. This book just seems so interesting. It drew my eye, and I'm looking forward to it a lot. I like ghost things a lot of paranormal spirit things. So this will be something that hopefully I love and I want to keep. I'm going to start off November with Promises and Pomegranates by Sav R. Miller. It's the first of this Monsters and Muses series. Haven't read her before. I don't know if this might be her debut series, but she has other ones released already, and none of them sound interesting to me other than this one and her one that's available for pre-order right now. I don't know if it's like the 4th or the 5th book of the series, but it makes sense because I love mythologies. Greek mythology is the one I know the most about, and I love the myth of Hades and Persephone. It's my favorite, and my second favorite being Cupid and Psyche, which is the other one that I'm interested in. That's what it's based on. So I am looking forward to this, even though it didn't look like it had great reviews, but hopefully I'll like it because I don't always agree with the consensus. Then I'm gonna continue November with Den of Vipers. This is a reverse harem, dark romance themed book. It caught my eye and the premise sounded interesting. I'm a little worried though because a lot of people said that they needed therapy after reading this. So we'll see how it goes, but I can separate my own thoughts and feelings from a book if it's well written and the characters are interesting. So hopefully I'll enjoy it. I'm going to end November with a book that I currently have on pre-order, so I'll just show it on the screen. It's Good Spirits by, oh no, I'm not sure. I think it's B.K. Borison is who's coming out with that book, and I'm looking forward to it. So it'll be kind of the start to getting into the holiday spirit, which I love Christmas so much. Even though I like Halloween a lot, Christmas is actually something that's easy for me to celebrate, and I live in a state where you really need to add cheer to the year because it's really dark and cold and depressing otherwise. So I'm looking forward to being in the Christmas spirit. Then I'm gonna start December. With The Invitation. This is by Vi Keeland. I've never read anything by her before. I'm kind of interested in picking up Something Borrowed, Something New, but I'm not sure. I'll wait till I've actually read this and see what I think, but this had good reviews, and I know it's not necessarily Christmassy, or as far as I can tell, but for some reason it gives me New Year's Eve vibes, so maybe it's the gown that she's wearing, so I think it's appropriate for December. But I don't want to wait till the end of the month to read it. Then my last 2 books of the year are going to be The December Market by Rayanne Thane. I believe that this is part of a series. It might not be. It might be standalone. But if I like it, I might look into the series. However, I could just read this as a standalone, being a nice Christmassy themed book. So I'm looking forward to that. Then the last one I have planned for the year is going to be The Holiday Cottage by Sarah Morgan. I've only read one other novel by her, which is this one, The Book Club Hotel, which was also themed around Christmas. And I did receive it as a Christmas gift, so it was actually last year, the first book I read in the year in January. And I really, really loved that book. It was so good. So when I saw this one, I wanted to pick it up for December. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. I am going to do a no talking version, so if you want to watch that, feel free to. And I will give you a reading wrap up for my second half of my reading for this year, probably at the beginning of next year. But I also do want to do a video planning my 2026 reads because I mostly read for vibes, mood reading, or whatever you call it, where I try to match the book up to the time of year, but next year I've already ordered a ton of books. I hit my minimum goal of 24 books, and then I have some more on my wish list, and I'll probably pick up some more too, especially if some series that I am reading this year or next year will come out with the next book in the series. But I do want to do that video because I think it'll be fun, and kind of seeing my thought process of why I read books in the order that I read them, and why I split up series, because I tend to not like to read a series straight through. I like to split it up, but that will be coming out later in the year. And I do have a ton of books on pre-order too, so I'm kind of waiting for some of them to be in my possession before I do that video. But I hope you enjoy, and check out the no talking version if you would like.